Hello, it's Markham Torch here from Markham 3D, and today we're going to be continuing on with our Apex Arc Star. So in this section here, I'm sanding down all the hard edges to get to make it a little bit more smoother. Trying to sand down the actual 3D print surfaces themselves. I actually do remove quite a few of the little pieces with a Stanley knife afterwards, but here I'm just working on just trying to get it as smooth as possible. There was a mistake here that I did is with the ironing, I set it to concentric, and it seems to have just burnt quite a bit of the plastic. It really should have done just zigzag, and here I am just working on a little bit more, just getting rid of those circles that I mentioned in the last video. They really didn't work out. They weren't high enough. I even wanted to get rid of the arrows as well, but I kept them. Here I'm just super gluing these together and just pretty much using a whole container of super glue. Prying it open there because I wasn't able to get it any other way open, and just pumped it through. Now what I should have done here as well is I should have sanded this side down flat. This means that this contact would have been a lot better and that seam would have been a lot less. From here I use some plaster filler and just literally get my fingers in, and I'm just jamming it into the crevices. Now it did work quite well. I probably should have gone over it 2 or 3 times. But I was really unhappy with how it looked, and whatever I was going to do was going to fix it. So I kind of just want to get this project finished at this point. So I'm just really jamming in there, just going around, and it was really just easy just to use your finger. Didn't have to use a spatula or anything. It wasn't that liquidy. I think it's just dried out a bit. But I'm just using what I've got around the house. From here now, I've just gone and I'll just start sanding that smooth. Now this did work to an extent. By doing this as well, it also gets rid of the sharp edges that I was finding, and I found that as I was sanding quite a bit of the plastic, it was just getting sharper and sharper. So I really had to go around. I can't remember what thickness of paper. I think it might have been 80 grit. So I was really aggressive on it. But like I said, the ironing failed me on the print. I really should have been more delicate. And the other thing I didn't do is I printed at 0.28 mil height. I really should have been printing at 0.12, but I've now bought a nozzle and hopefully get those finer prints. Here I used primer filler, car paint body filler, and it works beautifully. Like it works on plastic. I used 400 grit sandpaper and it just came off like butter. Definitely when I go back and I revisit the helmet that I want to print off, I will definitely be using this and probably just put in 2 or 3 coats of this. So sand it down and then sand it away. Now the mistake I did here is I should have just done the blades, where I actually went over the whole thing and it filled in a bit of the details. It looks okay. It's quite nice. Like I said, it was really easy to work with, and I'll definitely be using it again for like props like this. I would like to revisit this project again and do it fresh, but that's for another tale. So from here I go in and just start painting, and I go really loose with some paint that's probably about 12 years old, and it was still pretty good. So this is the Warhammer paint that came with the starter set, and I just lather it on there, go to town, literally just cover the whole model with this metallic finish. From here I come back in and I get some silver paint, and I'm just going to paint the blades, just to give it some contrast, so it kind of looks like that area is actually being sharpened. I probably should have used a smaller brush, which I do a little bit later, but once again, you know, I learned quite a few things, and this is what I'm trying to get out of this video, is all the things that I've learned. What could I have done better? But yeah, definitely this paintbrush was not one for this delicacy. But yes, so from here we get the final product. Now, could this have been better? Absolutely. But it was my first try, and I'm definitely going to be revisiting something like this.